Taxi Driver, 1976. Do I really need to say anything? I mean, this is Martin Scorsese's cameo. Whoever they were going to get to play this guy, I'm so glad
They didn't.
he didn't show up or whatever.
Was this not planned?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that. I've seen the documentary many times, though. I mentioned this film to my hairdresser. I get this a lot, though. I said, I was like that scene in Taxi Driver, and he went, like, there was nothing.
I don't have a hairdresser.
Awkward.
See the woman in the window? do you see the woman in the window?
Yeah.
You see the woman? Good. 'Cause I want you to see that woman because that's my wife. But that's not my apartment. It's not my apartment. You know who lives there? Huh? No, I mean, you wouldn't know who lives there. I'm just saying. But you know who lives there? Huh? I know who lives there.
Forgot about this.
I like that.
Can you believe that?
I didn't.
And I'm going to kill her. There's nothing else.
But it's,
I'm gonna
I
kill
mean,
her.
it's not even worth getting into it, but
What do you think?
that is worse than the violence to YouTube.
I said, what do you think about it?
Him saying, what is, you know it. You know it.
You don't have to answer everything. I'm gonna kill her. I'm gonna kill her with a 44 Magnum pistol. I have a 44 Magnum
That's where he
pistol.
gets the idea for the gun, right? When
Just-
Andy sells in the guns, he's like, likes that Magnum.
Space.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd fucking destroy it. Just blow her right
I've not
apart.
connected the two before.
That's what I can do to her face.
Well, he just came to me then, but
Now, did you ever see what it can do to a woman's pussy?
That you see.
That you should see. That you should see what a 44 Magnum's gonna do to a woman's pussy. You should see. What's that? I know you must think that I'm, you must think I'm pretty sick or something. You must think I'm pretty sick. Right? You must think I'm pretty sick? Huh? Right? I bet you really think I'm sick, right? You think I'm sick?
are we going to mention how De Niro wouldn't turn around and look at him?
You think I'm sick?
You remember that?
Yeah. He said, yeah, you have to make me turn and look at you.
You don't have to answer. I'm
And he never did
alive,
it.
you don't have to answer.
So many questions. I mean, it's one of my favourite scenes in the movie, but of all time. I don't know. I've seen the movie so many times that I can't even put it in perspective anymore. Why do I love it? I kind of want to know why you love it, but I can't tell whether Marty's performance is him or New York or the script. I don't know why, because his rhythm and the things he repeats, clearly Schrader wouldn't have, written those in. So I just think it's a magnificent. I think it's perfectly pitched. I just don't know. He does seem appropriately aggrieved, like it's not too much. Like he's obviously crazy, but crazy with passion. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't shoot people that this is just all anecdotal, but it's like clearly he's feeling it. You know what I mean? It's a crime of passion, but it's darkly funny.
Yep.
It's hilarious. Like the way he's talking, it's so, and maybe because De Niro's straight man performance is bringing it out of him as well, and he's not responding to him, and they're dueling. They're as actors, they're dueling in this scene. You know, hit me. What do you got?
It's that thing of he's saying horrific things in a bizarrely likable and hilarious way.
You know who lives there?
I mean, you don't know who lives there.
You don't know
who lives there.
You don't know who lives there, but you know who lives there.
You must really think I'm sick. You think I'm sick? You think I'm sick?
Yes,
You
but
think I'm
but,
sick?
but even in Mean Streets, you do. One of the hallmarks, I guess, of that movie, which he brought to the world, was this kind of this dark humor and this goofing around and way of speaking that came from that part of the world, these corners of New York. Do you know what I mean? Where I guess, I don't know, like it's hard to put into words, but like, because that's not in every movie. Like
and as you were saying, like I don't know what it is, but that you should see. That you should see. So that
you should see,
especially coming from.
But then repeating it in the next sentence.
But that seems like, especially with who's saying it, as in a guy who looks like Scorsese in New York with that accent, dressed as he is, it sounds like he's talking about opera.
Yes.
Or like a movie, a piece of cinema. That you should see. That you should see. But what he's talking about is
horrible.
So horrific.
Yes.
But he's saying it in that same way. So
yes.
I don't know what it is.
But it's also...
But it's all working.
It's music as well. He speaks... His voice sounds like music in the way that his cadence and his rhythm and his light and shade. And that's what I've been saying, repeating things he's said. Just like any great singer, he is immediately recognisable as well. So when you hear Dylan, you know it's Dylan. When you hear Bjork, you know it's Bjork. You hear Snoop Dogg, you know it's Snoop Dogg. And when you hear Martin Scorsese speak, you know it's him. And so I've heard him in documentaries say stuff that has stuck with me forever. You know, he says of the Searchers, of Ethan in the Searchers, he's a poet. You see? He's a poet of hatred. So just like his rhythm, like and he sets you up. He just throws balls and then just hits them and then and then does a little flourish before he does the next one. Like it's timing as well. His timing is really, really, really good. So, I mean, the scene's just magnificent. Again, I don't want to just make this saying the same shit every single time, but I think the audience today deserves this movie. I think we deserve this movie. You need this movie. This is saying a lot about... See, rather than sitting around talking about, these manosphere guys or whoever they are, and talking about, toxic masculinity, which, I'm actually open to discussion on the dark sides of masculinity. I don't think it needs a buzzword attached to it. I think that Taxi Driver clearly shows you in a film, in a piece of art, what can happen when a man, falls into the dark side of masculinity.
Well, I mean, even that scene. So, he is the aggrieved party. He's getting cheated on.
Yes.
But then the way it's kind of manifesting is, I mean, whether or not he does anything, I guess it's kind of left outside the scope of the movie.
Yes.
But the way he's talking about it, all of a sudden, he's the villain. So he's kind of... Yeah, even Scorsese's character in that moment has fallen into the dark side of it. So it is, I guess, toxic masculinity.
And he's impressionable as well, like to Travis. So, as I say, he's given him the idea, just like the way I found this movie decades ago was seeing a poster or seeing an image of De Niro with the mohawk and the guns, and that was implanted in my brain, impressionable young man. And then the movie's done the same thing. Travis is sitting there and he says, you need a 44 Magnum. Like, this is, talking about violence and revenge and getting one back. Doesn't matter on who. Getting one back on women, on the people who've aggrieved you, on whatever. And you should use this gun. And then later on, it's pretty much the gun. One of the guns he uses. It's the bad boy. And so this is the kind of sophisticated art I think we deserve. It's... I think that you should be able to talk about. I just think you could talk endlessly about it. We used to go, oh geez, this is definitely the dark side of being a man. Like going to, and where, why does he fall into this trap? Travis, I guess I'm going outside the scene a little bit, but Travis, and this guy as well. I guess he's got his own thing going on, but Travis is alone in a city filled with people. So he's gone to an urban centre. He doesn't have a family. He doesn't have a church or any spirituality. Not or if you don't have that, an organising principle, which is what Fight Club's about as well. It becomes the reason that you trim your nails or whatever. It's you need an organising principle, maybe a reason to get together and do something. I said it to my hairdresser as he was staring at me. He gave me what I think is a really good haircut, and I think I'll definitely be going back to him. But I was just saying to him that, it's unfortunate that you seemingly become so traditional as you age. It sort of happens slowly and then all at once, or not at all with some people, I guess. But, it occurred to me, none of these are new thoughts, but I just thought, I think that men, I don't know what the answer is, but a film like Taxi Driver shows me that men need a civilizing agent of some description. You need, and that's what it all is. A body cam is a civilizing agent. A family and children is a civilizing, an organizing principle, but also a civilizing tool. Going to an MMA gym and wrestling with other strong men is probably a civilizing tool to a certain degree. I don't know. I'm open to hear the arguments against that, but Travis is clearly someone who, when you don't have any of those things, particularly when he's been come from the war, so he's fought in the war. He doesn't talk about it, and I know some people like that, and yet he's been slotted back into society, and we've said, get a job, do whatever, and then he's just fallen through the cracks. And I guess it's a particular time and place as well, but like now if you were Travis, you wouldn't even need to go and interface with the snack bar lady to go and watch your dirty movies. You'd be alone in your bedroom. Even worse. So the small bit of interaction he has with the other cabbies and whatever, you're falling even further.
Well, yeah. So he wouldn't need to interact with anyone to get his porn. He wouldn't need to be a taxi driver. He could be doing Uber Eats.
Yes.
So he wouldn't even need to have people in his car. He could just go up, show the phone, get the bag, drop the bag, not speak to anyone.
Okay, because what he wants is, because he sort of half fulfills what he wants. He needs a purpose. He wants to do good. On some level, he wants to do good. On some level. It's perverted and all mixed up and jumbled up. And he does a lot of bad and wants to do a lot of bad, but he also wants to do a lot of good. And so I guess we get these angels on his shoulder. He goes to his co-workers and he says, I got these feelings and thoughts and they can't really talk to me. They don't have the words to talk to him. And then this guy is on his shoulder saying, you know what, like maybe when life gets you down, maybe what you need to do is hit it back hard, and it makes perfect sense to him because he's in just a hell realm, really. Well,
yeah, so he is trying to do good, he's trying to be noble, but he's just confused. So even when he takes Sybil Shepherd out on a date, she's this professional, intelligent, sophisticated woman, and he's got things so wrong that he takes her to a porno theatre.
Yes.
And it's not deliberate, and he's kind of confused by her absolute repulsion to it and the fact that she completely rejects him. He thought he was...
When I was in my early 20s, I didn't take a woman to a porno theatre, but I did go on a date with a chick, and she said, like, where are we going to go? And I said, I think I might have just said somewhere like, I thought it'd be really cool, it was like a bowling alley or something. I just suggested something, and I felt like Travis, like I knew that I had misread the situation because I was just out of my depth, like I drifted away from what she wanted. And so you really feel for Travis in those moments. You're just like, oh man, like he's just got no guidance, no nothing. And I don't know. I'd bring it back to the scene. I just think that this is a magnificent scene. Says so much with so little. And think about how much TV you have to watch. It's so exhausting when someone says, "Oh, have you seen this?" And it's like 5 seasons of 10 episodes each, let alone 20 or whatever. And think of all those scenes that wash over you with all that time. And We've got a 2-minute scene here. 2 and a half minutes. 2.5 minutes. I feel like there's a million things to talk about. You know, you could talk about, I mean, it's obviously those two characters and I know whether he goes through with it or not. And I mean, it's just endless, really.
Great cinema. Great art.
Great art.